welcome back to Open. Valor y Cambio is the topic at hand, and that is value and change. It's a community currency project designed to foster stronger communities and more equitable economies in Puerto Rico and the United States. And this project came about after learning more behind the debt crisis after Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico. But now the project is encouraging community participants to create different conceptions of wealth that promote value. And joining us now to share more about Valor y Cambio, please welcome Valor y Cambio creator, Professor Frances Negrón-Muntaner. Hello and welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
This is an absolutely amazing project. And I just want to really start from this place of, obviously you're a professor, so it's apparent that within your work, the educational component is really crucial. But the concept within itself is so clever, just even from the language of speaking currency. So let's talk about first the value of each dollar that was created.
Sure, so we have three objectives with the project. The first one was create a platform so people could speak out loud about what they value, which is a question that's core to all our behavior, but we often don't ask ourselves explicitly.
Right.
The second was to introduce this notion of community currency, which is what we created for the project. And community currencies are a type of money that communities can create to facilitate their own exchange needs without the dominant currency. And there's about 5,000 community currencies in operation in the world. New York State has one of the most famous called Ithaca Hours, which is a time bank. And then the third, we wanted to produce or provide a practice setting so people could use the currency in participating businesses and establishments. So in New York right now, we have about 25 participants. So we created 6 denominations, right? And we had 4 values to pick the figures. We did a survey both in Puerto Rico and in the diaspora and came up with these 6 figures. The Cordero family, which are pioneers of public education in the 19th century. Basically, they started the schools for Black, mixed race, low income, and girls. Ramón Emeterio de Betances, which a lot of people know as one of the architects of El Grito de Lares, but he was also a doctor and founded one of the first public hospitals in Puerto Rico. Luisa Capetillo, feminist, labor organizer, also known as the first woman to wear pants in public in Puerto Rico. Julia de Burgos, who's very known in the diaspora, poet, journalist, of course, Roberto Clemente, very known baseball player, but also humanitarian.
Of course, he was going to be number 21, too.
Of course. and one of the reasons we picked the 21 was to suggest that currency is also a way of telling stories and what's important to a community or a nation. And we also wanted to say when you are creating your own currency and your own economic system, you have leeway to decide how you want to represent people. And the 21 was how we wanted to convey or help to tell the story of Roberto Clemente. And the 25 is our community build, representative of El Caño Martín Peña community, which we picked for many reasons. For one of the reasons is that El Caño is the only community in Puerto Rico to have collective ownership of land, which makes them be able to push back against gentrification and financial speculation of property. And it's the only bill that has living people.
Nice.
These are 3 youth leaders of El Caño Martín Peña picked by the very community to represent them in their bill.
That's lovely. Oh, wow. Wow. This is super exciting. And thank you for a little bit of that history lesson, right? And I hope people were paying attention. And I just wanted to go back a little bit to Roberto Clemente.
Sure.
In case people don't know, that's his number when he played baseball, and they've been trying to retire that number forever.
I should also say that in the back of the bill, we have allusions to other parts of the story of each person. In this case, Roberto Clemente was born in Carolina, so we have Carolina. But I also want to call attention to the QR code if you participate, because the whole project is based on exchange of stories, right? So you go to our ATM and you tell us a story about what you value. You get one of these bills randomly. And in the bill, you have the story that we want to share with you, which is the story of all these figures and communities, right? So if you went with your phone or directly to the web, you would go and read about Roberto Clemente. And it also has the last interview with Roberto Clemente on television, which is an amazing document of Roberto Clemente's awareness of himself as a Black and Puerto Rican man.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of our greatest humanitarians. And so now Okay, so she gave us a little background on the money, or the currency, I should say. And I know that you've already explored Loisaida, and now you're in East Harlem, and you launched at El Museo del Barrio, and I know you're going to be there tomorrow. But let's talk about how it's actually been activated, and so how there are certain organizations and or certain merchants that are participating in this venture, where people can actually go and purchase things with it.
Right, so this project began in Puerto Rico, and at the beginning we were thinking, is anybody really going to want to participate, because they're going to basically accept the currency for products and services, and we don't know what's going to happen, if a lot of people are going to come or not. So the partners were very important from the start. When we came to New York, we saw that there was some difference about what kind of partners we were getting. In Puerto Rico, there was a lot of food-related businesses. In the Lower East Side, were mostly cultural. But now moving into El Barrio, there's a very big diversity of businesses. So you can use this currency from anything from going to Amor Cubano for a restaurant, to entrance into a museum like El Museo del Barrio, or you can also go to a theater production in the Bronx, in Pregones. So you actually have a lot to pick from on how to use it if you choose to.
Right, and I know, and that's probably going to be the challenging part, is people wanting to actually let go of it, because it seems valuable.
Most people do not let go of it, actually. I mean, we encourage people to use it, but people tell us we find it so beautiful, or we like the story of a particular person, so we in fact feel that what the currency represents and the stories that tell more valuable than what we can exchange with them. Although we have been told many times that it's going to be different in East Harlem, so we're going to be pendiente, you know, see if that...
hopefully people will earn a lot of it, and they won't have a problem, you know, parting from it.
Well, some people, what they do is they keep participating until they have a bunch,
right.
and then they'll hold on to some and maybe use some.
And they're going to have a lot of time to do that. So let's just share before we go where, how long it's going to go, and where you're actually going to display the ATM, because this is your interactive art piece.
Yes, the ATM is going to be located in several places in East Harlem. It's right now in El Museo del Barrio. Then it's going to move to Art Space, PS 109. It's going to be in the Julia de Burgos Mosaic. It's going to be in a printing workshop, Roberto Clemente printing workshop. It's going to be in La Marqueta. So you should go to our website, valorycambio.org, where the full schedule is there, and you can see where the machine is, because you can only get the bills if you exchange your story. So the only way to get it is attending a place at a moment that the machine is present.
Right, and this is only happening until September 30th, so you definitely have to make sure that you participate while the ATM is floating around El Barrio. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much.
Being here.
Of course.
And you guys, Valor y Cambio initiative will take place at El Museo del Barrio as part of the Super Sábado free event Saturday. That's tomorrow, September 21st, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And El Museo del Barrio is located at 1230 Fifth Avenue. And of course, for more information and El Museo del Barrio, visit elmuseo.org. And for more on the tour, the ATM tour, that is, visit valorycambio.org. Okay, we're taking a quick break, but coming up, we'll make some tasty, fun vegan lunches even your kids will enjoy, so don't go anywhere.